Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. At first glance, the Arizona Bowl does not look that exciting. Does not look that appealing. But if you look a little closer, you realize that this is a battle between two teams that have struggled mightily for about the past decade, but are now two very surprising conference champions. We have Ball State, the 6-1 Cardinals, champions of the MAC, taking on number 22 San Jose State, undefeated at 7-0, winning their first Mountain West Conference title in program history. This is a great game, guys. How many chances do you get to see? Obviously not within the college football playoff. Chances to see a bowl game between two conference champions. And again, two of the biggest surprises within the group of five that I don't think are getting nearly enough attention. So we are here to give them that attention. We're going to break down the offense, the defense, the keys to the game, and who we have winning this Arizona Bowl. Both these teams trying to end a historic and wild 2020 season on a high. So let's start with the offense here. Let's start with Ball State. Let's start with Ball State out of the MAC. Again, this was a team that wasn't supposed to do anything this year. They were not supposed to be that competitive. They didn't look competitive after their first loss of the year to Miami, Ohio in their season opener. No one had them pegged to go to the MAC championship. No one had them pegged to win the MAC championship when they got there, facing a heavily favored Buffalo team. And yet here we are. Mike New's team is doing a phenomenal job. They're averaging 34.3 points per game, and a major reason for that is their quarterback, Drew Plitt. He's thrown for over 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions this year. You look at what he did against Buffalo in that MAC championship game. 273 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns. This guy does it all. He's not the most dangerous mobile quarterback. He's not the biggest dual threat quarterback, but he stands tall in the pocket. He delivers throw after throw, and he's a major reason why Ball State is 6-1 right now, playing in the Arizona Bowl as the MAC champion. You look at the rest of Ball State's offense, while we want to focus so much on the passing game and what Plitt has done for them, their run game should not be ignored either. They're averaging 177 rushing yards per game. Let's keep in mind that for the past few games, including the MAC championship, they didn't have their leading running back in Caleb Huntley. Huntley decided to opt out for the remainder of the year, and that included the conference championship game. But in that championship game against Buffalo, the Cardinals had 166 rushing yards, led by Ty Evans, who on the year has 344 yards and a touchdown. And all in all, this team has scored 27 points in every single game. At least 27 points in every single game. So they can score at an alarming rate. They're consistent, they're balanced, and they're going to pose a threat for a very good San Jose State defense. Look at the Spartans out in California. What an unbelievable turnaround Brent Brennan has done with the Spartans. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is unreal. I mean, this is a team last year that got a lot of national hype because they went on the road and took down Arkansas, an SEC team, the worst in the SEC, but still, it's a big deal. And ironically, the quarterback in that game was Nick Starkel. Arkansas's quarterback in that game was Nick Starkel, who threw like 5 interceptions in the Razorbacks' loss. San Jose State's quarterback now is Nick Starkel, and he's been the key. He's been the reason, the leader of this team as to why they are, again, undefeated Mountain West champions and have a chance to clinch their first undefeated season since 1939. The Spartans are averaging 30.9 points per game under Starkel. They're averaging 301.3 passing yards per game. Starkel has thrown for over 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions all year. Had more interceptions in that one game against San Jose State last year when he was with the Razorbacks. You look at his top wide receiver, Bailey Gaither, 725 yards and 4 touchdowns. He has been Starkel's go-to man all year long, and you can expect another big game from both of these players against Ball State. The biggest thing that really has impressed me the most with San Jose State has not been how balanced they've been, not how efficient they've been offensively, and obviously they would prefer to air it out more than anything, but how dominant they've been. How dominant they have been in the Mountain West. They have won every game by double digits. They've won every game by at least 10 points. They've scored at least 28 points in 6 of the 7 games that they've played. So you've got a battle here between 2 great quarterbacks, 2 offenses that are very consistent and know how to score. This could be a fun one, and a game that could ultimately just be decided by one big defensive stop or one big turnover from either side. So let's look at those defenses. This could be the most valuable side of the ball here if this game truly is back and forth. Ball State, they do not own the edge defensively, but their defense, by MAC standards, has not been that bad. They're allowing 27.6 points per game, but the biggest concern I have right now for Ball State is their secondary has been pretty bad. They've allowed 295.9 passing yards per game this year. Remember, San Jose State's averaging a little over 300 passing yards per game this year. They got torched by Kyle Van Treese, the Buffalo quarterback in that MAC championship. Yes, I know Ball State still won, but Van Treese has been relying heavily on his run game all year. So to get torched by him in that championship game has to be a bit of a concern. Something that San Jose State, watched the film on that and said, hey, we can throw on these guys. We can be successful on these guys. But the one thing that Ball State has done well, the one thing that Ball State has done relatively well is they've created a little bit of pressure on the quarterback. They've got 16 sacks on the year, 16 sacks through 7 games, and they have forced 13 turnovers. So they're able to get some takeaways. They're able to create some pressure. San Jose State's got to be able to win that battle up front to give Starkel time to throw because we know that's going to be their game plan. They don't want to run it as much as they do passing. Look at San Jose State and their defense. You talk so much about Nick Starkel. You talk so much about the offense for the Spartans. And yes, that's a major reason for their success. But I think the defense, they say that wins championships. And I think that has been what's done it for the Spartans this year. They're allowing just 17.9 points per game. They have not allowed more than 24 points in a single game this year. The most they've allowed is 24 points. How about that? They're only allowing 227.1 passing yards per game. They're allowing just 109.1 rushing yards per game. Again, Ball State is averaging 177 rushing yards per game. So if San Jose State's run defense remains as strong as they are, remember, they held Boise State to 3 rushing yards in that Mountain West championship game. If their run game remains so stingy, they're going to make Ball State one-dimensional. Make Drew Plitt win this game by himself through the air. And anytime you make a team one-dimensional, it makes it a lot easier for your defense. So that's a major storyline you want to watch out for here. They're averaging, or they have created 23 sacks, San Jose State has. They have 23 sacks on the year. They have just 9 turnovers, though. So 9 turnovers through 7 games. Not that impressive, not that great. San Jose State just relies on bullying you. They want to win the line of scrimmage. They want to take away the run. They're going to force you to do consistent 3-and-outs or just consistently getting stops. We don't need turnovers because we're going to get it done the old-fashioned way. And in doing so, doing that consistently, it opens the door for their offense to go rack up some points. Another major reason they've won every game by at least 10 points. So let's look at the keys to the game here. We've got a few. Keys to the game for Ball State, keys to the game for San Jose State. The biggest thing I have for the Cardinals right now is they have to find a way to maintain balance. Again, we just mentioned how bad it is to be one-dimensional. You don't want to be one-dimensional, especially when you've relied on that balance all year long. So we know Plitt can throw. We know Plitt can throw it, but the key is trying to stay as close as you can to that 177 rushing yards per game average. I'd say if Ball State can get up to 140, 150 rushing yards, I think that's a good day. And it gives them a great chance to win this game because we know Plitt's going to be able to get the job done through the air, as we mentioned. But if San Jose State and their run defense lights it up like they did against Boise State and Ball State doesn't get more than 75, 80 rushing yards, it could be a long day for this Cardinals offense. You look at San Jose State. What is their key? It's to pressure the heck out of Drew Plitt. You've got to get after him. You've got to get after him. Ball State has allowed 24 sacks this year. They've allowed 24 sacks this year through 7 games. Remember, we said San Jose State, what do they have, about 16 sacks this year? They've been able to get after the quarterback so far. 23 sacks this year for San Jose State. Ball State has the 16. So 23 sacks this year for San Jose State, 24 allowed by Ball State. If their offensive line is not up to par, if their offensive line is not prepared for the dominant front seven that San Jose State will bring, when we've seen it all year long, it could, again, be a very long day in the backfield for this Cardinals offense. And Plitt certainly will not play the way he did in the MAC championship, and he certainly will not play the way he's played all year long when he's consistently under pressure. So Ball State, maintain balance. You've got to eclipse about 140 rushing yards. I think that's the key number. It's below your season average, but it's enough that when paired with the passing game, you can put up the points and possibly win. San Jose State, pressure, pressure, pressure. Get after Drew Plitt. I'm expecting the run game to remain strong. I'm expecting it to remain stingy. If you get after the passing game, make him uncomfortable, force enough bad throws and mistakes, you've got the game in the bag. And that, of course, guys, all said and done, that is why we're picking San Jose State. I know we kind of rushed into that, but that is our pick to win this Arizona Bowl. I don't know how you can pick Ball State. The Cardinals have done a phenomenal job this year. One of the biggest surprises in the MAC. I'm so happy to see them doing so well. But how can you pick against San Jose State? 5 of the 7 games for Ball State have been decided by one possession. Every single game for San Jose State has been won by at least 10 points. They have dominated. Ball State has not. Yes, they're getting the wins. Yes, they beat Buffalo by 10 in their championship game. I'm aware of that. But they have too many one-possession games that a couple plays don't go their way. They're not in this bowl game. They're not MAC champions. So again, San Jose State has dominated every game. They've dominated good Mountain West teams like Boise State, Nevada, who annihilated Tulane in their bowl game, Air Force in that dangerous triple option. They've won all of those games by at least 10 points. And I think they're going to be able to do it again here against the Cardinals. I think San Jose State wins this game. A nationally ranked team. They defeat Ball State in the Arizona Bowl. They finish 8-0, which would clinch their first undefeated season since 1939. So guys, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share our videos. And also make sure to check out everything down in the description below. We have brand new Gridiron Expert merchandise. Make sure to go give that a look. Make sure to check out our spread picks for every single bowl game on our website, thegridironexpert.com, as well as our weekly newsletter on thegridironexpert.com. Check out our Patreon account. Check out our Bet Now promo code and offers. All of those things benefit you, the diehard college football fan. So right down there in the description, go give it a look. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.